Welcome to SharpenTheHustle.com podcast with Jesse Miller. We're working hard as a given, but results are how we measure success. We interview successful business owners that'll help you sharpen your hustle.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to SharpenTheHustle.com podcast. I'm with Cody Neer today, and he is the owner and chief marketing officer of Degreez Marketing Agency. Cody, why don't you take a minute and introduce yourself here?
Hey guys, name's Cody. Been doing digital marketing for roughly 10 years or so. My previous history and how I got to where I am evolved as a collegiate athlete. Went to school at University of Florida. Always thought I was going to play professional baseball, and I did for a few years. After the vacation of baseball, I hit the real world and found a liking within digital marketing. The first business that I was involved in was Zoom by phone. It was electronic check processing. Started that at 22. Built out a pretty solid business. It emerged into more of a background into digital direct response marketing. Web dev, back end, those tactics. After that business, I did a lot of consulting. Launched the Power Editor with Facebook at Target Corporation. Built complete product launch formulas from the Jeff Walker model with an individual named John Eliason. I really got the ability to have a lot of mentors along the way from John and Jeff, and it's kind of pushed me into where I have been the last 2 years. Recently came out of an agency with Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank. Moved into Degreez with pretty much the same team as we had at Quantum. And since then, we've been building automated sales funnels through Clickfunnels. Focus has been on Shopify, building direct response campaigns through Facebook ads, Google PPC, and then anything, when it comes to digital is our focus at the agency side. So everything's brought me here to where I am today, and glad to be here.
Man, that's very cool. Awesome story. You've got a great list of things that you've done. Man, let's go back to when the baseball dried up. I mean, let's talk through that a little bit. What you were saying, you expected to be a MLB player, and that was, let's talk about that transition for a minute.
Yeah. So growing up, my core focus was an athlete as a baseball player. I was the guy that went to every showcase and played at, the best high schools and always had the best teammates and, had the opportunity to go play at one of the, as of this year, the best college in the nation, University of Florida. We did, very well. Went to College World Series in 2005, lost to Texas that year. Everything looked like I was on the right path to go to play Major League Baseball. Long story short, with baseball, I hit some road bumps, family and personal, and never had any injuries. But my father went through a couple things while I was in college, kind of sidetracked my baseball career. Spent a couple years out of it, and then realized that was still my passion. I went back into professional baseball, played a few years, and then as I kind of hit the real world and got older. That's whenever baseball became a past of my life, and then started focusing on what my future was going to be. So around 2011 is when I officially said baseball is it for good, and that's when we started our first business, Zoom by Phone.
That's cool, man. Would you say that some of the structure, the training, the discipline of being an athlete has helped you as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I say the core focus, my foundation has been the ability to actually spend the core part of my development years around, athletes, because both the competitive nature and the preparation side of things allowed me to, in a business sense, have a solid foundation to understand, business and how you have to have that foundation, have the good structure, and be organized. I always live by the 33% rule, and it's 33% of the people you surround yourself with are at the same level as you are in life. 33% are below you. You always try to help them get to where you are, and then spend 33% of your time with people that are above you. And while I was in baseball, I learned that concept because I would always try to focus myself on surrounding myself with people that are better than me so I could be as good as them. And then I'd always make sure that I picked up the slack from the guys that were not as good as myself and got them to where I was. And then I couldn't say my business sense and my entrepreneurship has strictly molded from that baseball experience. So I've been lucky to obviously have that experience, and that's obviously a strong foundation to who I am today.
That's cool, man. Let's shift gears here a little bit. Let's talk about the marketing agency. Uh, let's talk to the people that are in that 33% below you right now. All the guys that want to start a marketing agency. What are some of the biggest mistakes you've made and you see there in people trying to start that type of business?
Yeah, so the biggest thing that I both struggled with up until now has been I've tried to be a jack of all trades and a king of none, and I'd have knowledge a mile wide and an inch deep in everything. And as soon as I realized that I should focus on what I'm good at, focus on something that's allowed me scalability, that's what I wholeheartedly suggest people who are really trying to get in this business, because as soon as I focused on funnels and Shopify and e-commerce using paid media, direct response ads from Google and Facebook, that's when I really saw the actual marketing agency side take off and the opportunities take off, because I had a niche. Not only was I good at it, but it was a niche that is new, and using Clickfunnels obviously is a new software that allows a lot of opportunity there. It's a huge community. There's a massive amount of people that need those services. So I just focused on what I was good at, focused on those things, and that's what I did, versus try to be good at everything: SEO and PPC and e-commerce and graphic design and web development. You can get lost real quick in it.
Man, yeah, absolutely. I don't think it just applies to that type of business. If all you are is wide and you have no substance, then you just don't go anywhere. You don't create any impact with what you're doing, and there's no real value in it. So it makes you a commodity, and you don't want to. That's the last thing you want to be in business, is a commodity. It's something that anybody can do.
That's for dang sure.
That's cool, man. So what are some of the higher level things you guys are working on in business right now? I know you've had some major success with some of the ClickFunnels community. You guys have built 4 2 Club funnels. Will you explain that for people that aren't a part of that community?
Yeah, so a 2 Club funnel obviously is a $1 million funnel. So 2 commas in $1 million. That's why they call it 2 Club. But essentially, it's generating sales via one ClickFunnels account or one ClickFunnels funnel of $1 million or more. The initial product launch we did around the election time. We sold the product was a Donald Trump coin, and we had great partnerships with vendors and fulfillment centers. And we basically came up with a strategy of direct response Facebook ads direct to our funnel, and then we sold them a Donald Trump coin. We went to $2 bills. We went to collection coins, shirts, hats, the whole 9 yards. So our core focus was around the election and the Donald Trump presidency. We had great success there, and then that kind of drove us into our agency with Quantum Media with Kevin Harrington, and the opportunities from there turned into, hey, we can start doing this for clients. So we had a couple clients, Carbon Klean, for instance, their 2 Club. They approached it within a matter of 6 months. They had great success early, and as a Quantum client, that obviously has a partnership level with Kevin, his team, and we obviously did a great job for Carbon Klean. And then a couple other the 2 Club funnels that we were involved in, me particularly, was at Market Traders Institute. They're a Forex educational business, and they sell both software and they sell sales trainings. They sell strategies. We built multiple funnels for them that sold all of those services and products for them. So roughly around 8 total $1 million or more that generated strictly through ClickFunnels that I've had my hands personally on since then.
Wow, man, that's incredible success. It kind of brings up another topic that I'd love for you to address. if you are trying to sell stuff online, there's a ton of people that just feel like the only options are eBay or getting on Amazon or some of the other big platforms. What would you tell them in related to that?
Yeah, so great point too, because Amazon is obviously the king right now. They own everything when it comes to online sales, direct to consumer sales, product sales. Something that Amazon keeps from you is your customers' information. So the biggest factor whenever you're getting in online sales and e-commerce is Amazon's going to be the engine that drives the traffic to your site or sells your product. But when you sell it, you don't actually own that customer's information. Whereas if you're on Shopify or Clickfunnels, two very good platforms to sell products through, when the customer comes through and purchases from you, you get to keep their email address, their name, their phone number. You get to retarget them. You get to essentially create a lifetime value for your customer. So Amazon is a great platform. Shopify is an e-commerce platform that allows you to build your own opportunities, and then ClickFunnels allows you. Obviously, the biggest thing with ClickFunnels is a one-click upsell. So Shopify build a full e-commerce store. Amazon, you can sell your products using their engine and using their traffic, but ClickFunnels allows you to essentially sell one product. You get them to the next page, the yes or no. If they click yes, it automatically charges their card. You keep going through those funnels. You'll see right now on the internet that almost everyone's using funnels. If you go online to buy anything, as soon as you click buy, they say, well, do you want to add this? Or do you want to add this? And if you say no, they say, well, get a discount here. So that whole process right now in online sales is growing as we speak. So ClickFunnels being the main source of funnel building, that's obviously an excellent software. The biggest piece in e-commerce, though, is just owning your own brand, owning your own customer data, the whole like. So you can obviously own your brand and still put it on Amazon and ClickFunnels, though. So
it really comes back to one of the principles that I work with the business owners that I do work with on that I coach is, man, if you're selling a product and your whole focus and energy is on selling a product and you're not making a client, then you're missing it. You're only a commodity at that level. You're only a one-time exchange. And so with the systems that you guys set up, you create the ability for that individual to be a client, for that company to serve them over and over again. And that's incredibly valuable. Because really the big cost, would you agree that in a marketing agency, the big cost is that first interaction with a customer?
Yeah, absolutely. The cost to acquire your customer, they say that the person that can spend the most, always acquires a customer, obviously. But the reality is, if you can spend the most, acquire them, and then turn them into a long-term customer and a client, and turn that into a long-term relationship, you're going to build your value over the course of time. And that's always going to play to your advantage in the long run.
I love the concepts of funnels. I know some people, they think upsell and they hear a bad word when they hear that, but even Amazon does it. Because if you buy one product, the next thing that they show you are products that are purchased, simultaneously typically. So, and I love what you guys do there. That's awesome. So, Cody, let's switch gears here and talk about what you're building right now, man. Where's the future going for you specifically, and what are you creating for people to benefit from?
Yeah, so right now we're building our agency. Number one, we're building our processes. We're building people within those to actually do the things that we need to service our clients and create those relationships we talked about. And me personally, I'm launching the Bucks Brand Academy. It's a course that I'm actually building through ClickFunnels that's teaching individuals how they actually can create their own brand or products via Shopify and use print-on-demand vendors and use drop shipping vendors to sell other people's products or sell your own products and create a wealth that will allow you to create an income 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and create some financial freedom. Along with that, I've coupled that with a book called The 17K Work Week, and then it talks exactly about that concept.
Man, that sounds like an incredible resource. What are some of the things you're navigating in the process of building that? Do you have your plan all mapped out, or are there some struggles that you're dealing with in that, or where are you in that process?
Yeah, so I learned from other people, obviously, watching that my biggest thing was if I can provide as much value as possible to other people, then I'm going to, in turn get what I want to get in the long run. So I opened up the course to as many people that wanted to join. It was free to start. I'm seeing by learning from them what exactly they need me to show them how to do it, how to build, learning that there are some people that are going to blow through your course, in a matter of a week. And then there's some people that are going to take their time just because they have their own life they live. And then there's also some people that you have to hold their hand and walk them through it. And there's nothing wrong with any of those individuals, but I'm learning that I need to gear that course in all those ways so I can cater to anybody. If you've never done e-commerce, if you've never had an idea of how to use the internet, you can do this. Join right in. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Or if you're, if you've sold 7, figures online before, this course is still of value because there's tricks, strategies, there's, vendor relationships. There's going to be partnerships that I have in the course that I actually introduce the people that buy the course to things that they wouldn't get anywhere else. So from vendor manufacturers, private labeling groups, essentially strategies within Shopify to set up automation rules. There's just a ton of other value that I'm trying to bring that's not something you can YouTube or you can Google within a course about something like this.
Man, that sounds like an incredible resource. I'm sure you spent a lot more than you're charging for the course in that process of flushing all those vendors out and the relationships and banging your head against the wall. So training is just a no-brainer. If you're going to gain a new skill, you have to go through training. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah. So the part that I focus on, why it's called Bucks Brand Academy, is in 2013, I was fresh out of my first business and was an entrepreneur doing contracting work and trying to do my own thing. So I founded and started my own screen print and embroidery company. I was up in Lincoln, Nebraska at the time. It's where I met my wife. And I'd go to work every day. I'd go in the dark. I'd come out in the dark. I spent a couple years doing that and understanding this whole branding process. So I got to build relationships with people all over the world because I would buy apparel from China and Pakistan, and I'd be able to manufacture goods from anywhere to anything that I wanted. During those 2 years, I built great relationships, and I realized those relationships are actually more important than actually anything else I ever did. So once I spurred from that manufacturing screen print and embroidery company, I actually started my own brand called Bucks of America. It's bucksof.com, and it's a hunting and fishing apparel brand that I use exactly what I teach people in my course, how to do exactly what I did. So,
man, incredible resource. I love that. It's one of the things I do work with business owners on, man. You've got to love your suppliers. I mean, you've got to build that trust and respect and that relationship there. And it's easy at times when they're late on a shipment or their terms don't match your sales cycle to get frustrated in that. But man, when you have that respect and that authority that you give them and you let them operate the way they need to, it can create awesome things for you in the future. So man, that's really cool to see.
Yeah. So print on demand is, you can jump online and find that anywhere. There's some great vendors. I have great relationships, Viral Style right here in Tampa. I'm in St. Pete. Tom Bell does an awesome job. They have great turnaround rates and shipping rates and, plenty of products, but the relationships I built, with other manufacturers that you're just not going to get anywhere else. The ability to say, I want to custom design this jacket and, I want this material and I want this lining and these colors. Those are all resources that I can provide, and it strictly comes from the relationship portion of what I built.
Man, that's so cool, Cody. I love that. Let's switch gears here. If you had no resources today and you had to feed your family, what would you do to do that?
So this is the best question that I always get, because if I know what I know now, but I had zero physical, no monetary, no financial value, nothing at all, I'd sit down in front of my computer and I'd go do exactly what I know right now. And that is actually the number one thing is I would find somebody who needs help with what I know and I would help them, because the easiest thing to do for anything is find somebody else that's looking for some help, and then just be the resource for them. And they're going to, take you leaps and bounds and provide, financial return. They're going to give you relationship value. They're going to, they're going to help you and build your brand, your success, whatever you may need. But find somebody else that needs help and then help them. And that in turn is going to help myself.
Man, that's incredible. It's that simple, isn't it?
Yeah, truly. Once I realized that too, and not just in life and business, whatever, but just once I learned that concept and reading everybody else, it's what actually turned the corner for not just financially successful, but in business and friendships and relationships. Is as long as I can provide value to other people, in turn I get value myself.
Very cool, Cody. If people have some interest in your products and services today, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
So 3degreez.com is the agency site. You'll be able to go there, click contact, send us a message. My email is cne@3degreez.com. You can shoot me a direct email. You can also go to bucksbrandacademy.com. That's to learn more about the course. Or you can go to 17K Workweek, and that's to read the actual ebook, 17K Workweek. So any of those resources. I personally respond to any Facebook messages, LinkedIn messages. Friend me on any of those, and I'll get back to you.
Very cool. And that's 3 Degreez with a Z, right?
3 Degreez with a Z. I failed to mention that.
Cool. Just want to make sure people can find you, man. I love what you do. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being on sharpenthehustle.com today. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Jesse. Awesome.
You've been listening to sharpenthehustle.com podcast with Jesse Miller. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show, or to listen to past episodes, check out sharpenthehustle.com.